Let me go know.
Then say get rid them, then they embalm themselves, but me I never go to that kind of place before.
Let's discuss the headlines and politics.
Going by the Senate Standing Orders of 2011 as amended, which is the genuine and authentic because it has never. I need protection. Will you shut up?
Get involved. Air your opinions. In this republic, we don't turn off your mic. Join us on Bright Republic, weekdays,
8 a.m. Good morning to you and welcome to another exciting edition of Bright Republic right here on Bright 98.7, the blazing voice of talk, information plus entertainment. And of course, in keeping to our promise of always informing you and bringing you amazing talk, we thought it right to always bring to you Bright Republic at this time, 8 o'clock till about 9:30, especially for those who want to, be abreast of happenings in the country and in the nation as well as the world. And we'll be talking about some of the trending issues in the country, in all parts of the country today on Bright Republic. You're officially welcome. My name is Simeon Sunday, and of course I will not be doing this alone, as I will be having this analytical moment with Ambassador Osinbajo. He is popularly known as Obama. Good morning to you, Obama. Let me call you the Obama for today.
Good morning.
Great to have you on the show this morning. And of course, Temitope Lagushi is here. Good morning to you, Temitope.
Good morning to you, Simeon. Good morning to the city of Abuja.
Okay, great to have the gentleman and of course the amazing lady right here. So quickly, let's flip through the pages of the newspapers that are in front of me at this moment. We all know that yesterday the vice president, talking about Yemi Osinbajo, declared his intention, and today on Daily Trust newspaper, the headline clearly states 2023 presidency, Southwest weighs options on Tinubu Osinbajo. The presidential ambition of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and the national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has brought out the divisions among governors, leaders, and other stakeholders in the Southwest geopolitical zone. Osinbajo, who served as the Lagos State Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice for 8 years during the reign of Tinubu as governor, yesterday declared his intention to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari in 2023. Tinubu had in January this year formally declared his intention to run for the presidency in 2023, and right now it is unclear if the ruling party had zoned the presidency to the south, particularly the southwest, as other aspirants have also indicated interest. And although the official spokesperson for Osinbajo and Tinubu declined comments, Daily Trust gathered that the two leaders are ready to slug it out at the primaries, which is coming up very soon, although the APC hasn't clearly stated the date for its party's primaries. And now looking at what is happening, there is disquiet in the south, as a chieftain of the party in Lagos State said Osinbajo's declaration did not come as a surprise to Tinubu, whom the vice president had allegedly informed earlier. And several groups, even the Pan-Yoruba socio-political organization Afenifere, has said that it is not supporting either of the candidates at the moment. And now looking at this, a lot of people are saying the Southwest is now turned between supporting the vice president who declared his intention yesterday, or Ahmed Tinubu, who after his meeting with APC governors, made a statement that he doesn't even have a son grown enough to declare. And this statement has been causing a lot of commotion in the political space lately. Now, looking at this, both candidates from the Southwest region, Osinbajo and Tinubu, we all know a lot of people have actually, some political analysts have actually called Bola Ahmed Tinubu the political godfather of Osinbajo, knowing that this man served under Tinubu in 2007 during his time as the governor of the state. Now, looking at this, is this not turned between two candidates? Who do you support going forward, Asiwaju or Tinubu? How will the Southwest handle this particular matter? Let me start with you, Ambassador Austin.
Okay. Thank you for having me here once again. If you look at the statement yesterday, I was even trying to see the journalist why he's asking a professor of law, somebody that, if you look at their age, is about 4 years plus, and you are saying your son had declared. But that aside, to the Southwest, they are going to decide. And if you look at the issues just since yesterday that the Vice President declared, you see that a lot of people that you don't even expect them to come on board have started coming on board. So, and in the South, we're a very intelligent region, so they can't just fold their hands. So I think as time goes on, they are going to showcase their best candidates in that department.
Okay, let me come to you, Yemi. So, Yemi, seeing this yesterday, you weren't here yesterday. I was really waiting and hoping to hear what you say about Osinbajo's declaration. It is not even surprising that Osinbajo declared. Severally, we've heard a lot of people, even commentators, say Osinbajo will declare. Even on Friday, we made mention that he was going to declare this week, and truly, he did that yesterday via all his social media platform. Now, looking at the candidacy of those two people, the Southwest torn between the Asiwaju of Lagos, a whole lot of people will call the godfather of politics in Lagos, as well as the APC, and Osinbajo, who actually started his politicking under, some would say, under the Asiwaju era. And now looking at this, some would say, is a case of the son coming to take the position the father had already declared for. How true is this particular comment?
Well, I witnessed the declaration yesterday, and afterwards I took my time to review the video and everything that played out after the declaration yesterday. And what I noticed is that within the APC, statements were clearly made yesterday to show who is actually in charge or in control of what sector of the party. One of the things that was evident yesterday was you could tell the reason why Buhari had to veto the National Convention and ensured that the NWC only emerged through a consensus means. If not, a clear show of strength would have happened, and maybe through the activity of that convention, Nigerians would know who is really in charge of the APC as a political party. Immediately after the declaration of Yemi Osinbajo yesterday, Asiwaju had a meeting in Abuja here with governors of the APC, and when you see the pictures and the caliber of people in that meeting, you would be able to say certain things, though in terms of what has happened between the El-Rufai led governors and what has also happened against Boni caretaker committee, and seeing Boni and El-Rufai in the same space meeting with Tinubu shows you the sophisticated level of politics Asiwaju is willing to play. If you look at it very well, I don't see Osinbajo measuring up to the kind of politicking that would happen within the party, except the president comes again with the idea of consensus to produce his vice. Anything other than that, the political power and the will still reside with the godfather of Lagos State.
Okay, so looking at what actually played out yesterday, after the official declaration of Yemi Osinbajo, clearly we all know that Asiwaju actually met with some APC governors, and for those who actually monitored events that played out after the meeting, we saw the caliber of governors of the APC extract that were in that particular meeting with Asiwaju. And now looking at what you've clearly stated at this moment, does this clearly or somehow mean that Asiwaju in a way controls the structure of the APC, and certain individuals are trying to set their foot, put their foot on ground to ensure that certain things in favor of Asiwaju does not really or necessarily happen?
Well, there are some of those governors that in the past you've seen them play certain hypocritical politics where they attend such meetings but their intention does not support the agenda of that meeting, and you see them play out another script entirely. That may not in totality show that Asiwaju is in control, but for him to call a meeting and respond to him is a show of respect to someone who is seen as a leader within the political party. But the fact that Asiwaju's camp was able to produce something that could match the declaration of the president of the vice president without saying a word himself is a show of strength, and that aspect of politics is one thing I know that Osinbajo never left. Aside from his role as commissioner under Tinubu, he has had no political experience whatsoever since that period. I think he returned to classroom and subsequently only became a name that was pronounced in the political space in 2015 when APC was looking for a Christian candidate, the teammate that will go with Buhari. And since then till now, even as vice president, you could clearly see that there is no real will to show what his political convictions are while serving with General Muhammad Buhari.
Okay, so now let's look at, before we move on to other headlines, still on this particular matter, because that is the main subject in a conversation. If you see Osinbajo and Tinubu are actually trending on all social media platforms, even on Twitter, they're trending at number 1 and number 2 this morning. So now looking at what has actually happened and looking at the statement credited to Asiwaju, we all saw that video where Asiwaju clearly made that statement where he actually said, I do not have any son growing enough to actually declare. And a lot of political analysts have been trying to break down this particular statement, saying what it means. We've seen several people saying the statement means Osinbajo is not my son. He can independently declare his intention. Some are saying, that this is a clear-cut case of Tinubu feeling betrayed, that someone who he actually gave the platform a couple of years ago is standing in the same position he wants to vie for. So now looking at this, of what school of thought are you? Let me start with you, Austin, quickly before Yemi talks about it.
The statement, if you listen to him very well, I think that statement, he wasn't even expected to make such statement. You can see the Lagos State governor that was beside him by the left, he was saying it's okay. So I'm sure that statement actually, to me, if you watch,
did it come from a place of spite, or did it come from a place?
Spite. See, I'm sure Asiwaju is a great politician, no doubt. But one thing you have to know is this: I'm sure Asiwaju in his inner mind is expecting that one day Osinbajo will declare. So the idea of maybe is a shock to me is not. Many people in Lagos, it's not shock to them, because you have been seeing his poster everywhere. You have been so such person, you won't say maybe you are not expecting. And again, we have been saying this. You can see what he said clearly yesterday. Osinbajo is not his boy. I get me now. He's not his son. 4 years different or 5 years are in between them. You can't call somebody that we are contemporary and my son, be it political or anything. That was why he clearly said, I think she is the first son. And I doubt maybe it's up to 40 years. So that's why I said, I don't have a grown-up son. But that credited statement is to him, not to me. I think the camp of Osinbajo is not feeling anything special.
Okay.
Well, one of the things that Tinubu as a person lacks is the oratory of Osinbajo. Osinbajo is the type that he can speak to you and you forget his sins. You talk, and at the end of the day, he will appear like a saint with words of his mouth. But Tinubu is not the type of politician. Yes, behind the scene when it comes to making things happen within the political space, he is like an architect of that, and it has been proven over time within Lagos politics. And to an extent, you would also expect that one way or the other, when certain questions are asked, Asiwaju is likely to spell out how he feels. This is not the first time he has made such comments. We are aware of the comments he made during the EndSARS and after the killings and all of those. You remember his colloquium in Kano. He made certain statements that he had to come back to refrain from. There was a video as well about the permanent voters card where he made another statement. So Asiwaju is constant when it comes to making statements that is based on impulse, and his feelings yesterday is just what he has stated in his statement. And for him as a politician, he has always made it clear that the way he sees politics, he prepares for friends, he prepares for those who become enemies, he prepares for betrayers and all. So I feel he's ready. And if you look at it very well, sincerely yours, Osinbajo does not look like someone with any grassroots political structure, aside from the arrangement that is currently going on the basis of support structures for his ambition. As a politician, he is from Ogun State, but he votes in Lagos, and he can't tell us that he controls any aspect of Lagos State. We know that is basically controlled by Bola Tinubu, and it has been proven over time, even with the removal of a sitting governor in person of Ambody, which means if the vice president is looking to take his base back to Ogun State as where he's originally from and his background politically, you still can say that he's going to meet people who are of the Asiwaju loyal group, who are forming the background of the structure in that state. So it's still a question hanging on Yemi Osinbajo. Where is his political route? And it's something begging for clear answer.
Okay, hopefully Budurin before is, after the primaries, if he emerges, we'll get to have him one of these days, and then he might get to answer this question himself. Away from that, quickly, let's check the headlines on the Punch newspaper, and the headline says, train attack. A terrorist demand detain 16 commanders exchange for over 100 abductees. The bandits who attacked the Kaduna-Abuja train are demanding the release of 16 top commanders and sponsors in government custody in exchange for the release of over 100 individuals abducted from the derailed train on March 28. Dependable security sources said the bandits carried out the violent attack on the train just to abduct passengers who could be used to bargain for the release of their commanders and sponsors in detention. And now, looking at this particular report, knowing what these bandits, the dastard act they've committed in Kaduna and other regions as well. Remember, after the abduction of over 100 people from the Abuja or the Kaduna bound train from Abuja, we heard statements from the bandits themselves saying they truly kidnapped these people, but they are not doing this for money. Remember, on this platform we asked questions. What could be the reason for the abduction of these people? We were unclear as to the rationale behind the bandits attack, not seeking for money to sponsor or push forward the activities. They said the government knew what they wanted at the time. The government knew what they want, and let the government do that. They will release these people. And now they are clear on what they want. They've actually said it. all our commanders in your custody, all our sponsors that have been arraigned by the Nigerian government, release them to us and we release these people. Looking at this and understanding the nature of how these people operate in the country, is this not a dicey situation for the government of Nigeria? We've seen other clients who will say, in other clients, there are people they call collateral damage. Because we've seen other clients, the government will tell you, rather than negotiate with terrorists, or rather some individuals become collateral damage for these people, so we do not give them their demands or bow to their demands. But looking at this, is this not a dicey situation for the federal government and also for Nigerians as well, understanding that these bandits have said none will be released except their commanders and their sponsors are released to them? Then will they do this?
This when I watched this thing yesterday, it's very pathetic. And even coming to make statement about this, I was surprised. If I don't know, for instance, one of them was saying, just the person that said they are not doing it for money, and they said they are ready to kill those people if the federal government refuses to listen to them. The other one was saying they know what they want. So I think probably maybe the people that are handling this, maybe they should know what to do. But to me, I don't know how we got ourselves into this kind of situation whereby we are not seeing terrorists now telling us we are going to kill these people. And if you are holding some people, what are you holding them for? I don't know, because it's because they have the information that they are alive, or those people, the commander and the sponsors are alive. If you have a clear investigation about keeping them, that today they are not using them to negotiate. So to me, I don't. It's pathetic, believe me.
Well, what we are experiencing with the terrorists is as a result of the way this government pampered them over the years. When you look at the approach, from terrorists, they were renamed bandits, and under that covers, we saw different situations where the minister at certain time met with the media platforms to underreport the activities of these terrorists, believing that when you give them the reportage, they grow in strength and they feed on it. But we've seen it now that the outcome of that is quite terrible. It's terrible because the information that should be out there about them is not really out there, and people did not know how well these terrorists have grown and metamorphosed over the years. The only reason why we are feeling this tension is because there is a stay that has been declared by the government of Niger State, which is close to Abuja. Something is happening now between Abuja to Kaduna road and is affecting people, both those who are traveling by road and those who are traveling by rail. Now the impact is getting close to the Federal Capital Territory, and now the whether it is being underreported or not, the reality is now staring us in the face. I would say, without mincing words, that the challenges we have today is due to how the government of General Buhari and the service chiefs have really handled these activities of terrorists. It took a long period of time for citizens calling on the president to name them terrorists once and for all, so that we can engage them as terrorists. They refused to do that for whatever reasons. We've seen situations in this country where there was an abduction, and for whatever justifiable reason, Leah Shaibu was left behind on the basis, as rumored, that she refused to convert from Christianity to Islam. Whatever negotiation that was done to get back Dapchi girls, the moment we could concede leaving back Elia Shaibu in the hands of these terrorists is like giving them a bit of strength to see the reasons why they can get some things done. If we had these people in custody, why have we not over time used them to also probably see how we could get some of those who have been in captive over the years out of the hands of these terrorists. But no, we've chosen to keep quiet. We treated them with kid gloves, and at the time we are realizing that we have to call them what they are, which is terrorists. They are already on the boundary of the Federal Capital Territory, and to an extent, every time they come out to say something like the government knows what we want, it looks very much like there is something the government knows that we are not privy to. And if that is the case, it shows that we are not even sure of our security for those who are in FCT or wherever you are in the country. So there is need for this government to speak up and let us know what the challenges are. Over time, they've arrested terrorists. They've gotten terrorists who, in a way, released their tools and said they are not going into terrorism again. This same government, whatever means with which they used to gather these people, they bring them back and say they are repentant terrorists waiting to be reintegrated into the system. And you've treated them with such kids' glove, and we are now at a point where the number of those who have been adopted by these terrorists is still not ascertained till now, and we don't even know the extent these people are willing to go.
Anyway, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue the headlines. And still on security, as it is reported on Guardian that bandits killed 78 persons in Plateau. This has become a recurring case in the country, and it's not something to stop talking about. We'll go on a break, and when we come back, we'll continue. Stay here. This is Bright Republic.
Find and like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
Tell your friends and family about us.
It's Bright 98.7.
Booja, the erudite law lord, Barrister Obus is coming.
You don't mean it.
Owings Entertainment presents Nigeria's finest comedian, Buchi, live on stage, the man of the year. This Easter, comedy undiluted with Basket Mouth, Bovey, Senator, Mudiaga, Kaboko, Abarie, Wafi comedian, and your favorite flatmate. Also featuring
Cobams, Asupo, AV.
Date is Sunday, 17th April 2022, Easter Sunday at the Congress Hall, Transcorp Hilton. Time 6 p.m. prompt. Tickets regular 5,000 naira, VIP 25,000 naira, table for 10, platinum 2 million naira, gold 1.5 million naira, and silver table 1 million naira. Get your tickets online at www.allevents.ng. Tickets will not be sold at the venue. This event is proudly supported by Travel Better, Dana Air, Live Lounge, Main Street Capital, Chupex, and Transcorp Hilton. Comedy doesn't get better than this.
A lot goes into becoming a broadcaster. It goes beyond the voice, the face, and the swag. It goes beyond the accent and workflow. Even academic qualification isn't enough. What then makes an exceptional broadcaster? Bright 98.7 FM presents Bright Media Academy, a 4-week exclusive radio training and mentorship program in basics of radio presentation and programming, newscasting, voiceover artistry, and lots more. For registration and inquiry, call us or send us a message on WhatsApp on 070-337-28313. Follow us on our social media handle at Bright FM 987. Bright Media Academy. Learn, grow, and earn.
You're welcome back to Bright Republic. 30 minutes gone past 8 o'clock, and we have less than 30 minutes to have more discussions on the headlines before we officially open the phone lines, as well as open the WhatsApp line, so you can start dropping your messages and reacting to what we have been discussing this morning. And now back to the headlines. And as I said, on the Guardian newspaper, it says bandits kill 78 persons in Plateau. Alalong sends security forces after attackers condoles with victims. And sources from communities in Kanam local council, Plateau State, claim that the gunmen that attacked Kukawa, Gembawu, Dungur, Kiaram, Yelwa, Dada, Wanka, Shuwaka, Gwanadaji, and Dadinkowa villages on Sunday killed 78 persons. A resident of an affected community, Fanya Ali, told journalists that 36 persons were killed in Kukawa, 24 in Giambo, 8 in Kieram, 10 in Wanka. And the resident of an affected community also said the number of bodies in the bush is still unknown, and same with the number of houses razed. And this source also disclosed that many injured victims were admitted in Dengue General Hospital and Jos University Teaching Hospital, Youth. So looking at this particular report, where even a witness actually said 70 persons, mostly women and children, were even abducted after this attack in these villages in Plateau State. And now several times we've talked about this. We've heard even our callers actually mention special forces almost every time he gets to call on this platform and all of that. So now looking at the amount and the spate of kidnappings and killings by bandits, most of us actually are privy to seeing certain videos that actually come out from these communities where this attack happened. And I tell you, it takes someone who's strong-hearted to completely see that video and still remain sane. You see the videos and you're shocked at how inhuman some of these attacks are being handled or gone about by these bandits. So looking at this, over 78 persons killed in one community in just 24 hours. Looking at the report, looking at the headline at this particular moment, what can be done? How can we address this so we don't keep seeing this headline repeat itself on the headlines on a daily basis? Ambassador Austin.
The last time this thing happened, I think it was in Benue State. And the governor called on the government and the federal government to do the needful. My own take in this issue is that if they have the intelligence of these people that are always coming, because if you look at the way they killed, I don't know how they coordinate the attack that you can, because reporting 78, I'm sure it's over 100 Nigerians. That has been the trend that they own, that reports what happened. So imagine 78 people in about 6 different villages. So how did they coordinate this attack at the same time? That killing was going on here in Gwarimpa, killing was going on in Kubwa, in Boa, at the same time. That numbered 78. And when I saw the video, man, just as you said, there is nobody that can see this video within 10 minutes, after 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you can be yourself. Mostly children and women. I'm sure maybe those people couldn't be able to run, and see how they caught them. So to me, instead of, because that has been one of the problems too, because most of these governors are just, especially the governor of these areas, you see them living in Abuja here, going up and down. Majority of them are not doing anything. Because you can't tell me that, okay, the governor is about 7 years, by next month it will be 7 years as a governor. What have you been able to achieve as a governor of that state? Whether you come to Abuja, be staying in Abuja, and many of them are just traveling abroad. It's either they're in Abuja or they're in abroad, going up and down, looking for what they don't. And later, they will leave the governor, and before you know, tomorrow, they will be making statements. For him now, for about 7 years, what has he achieved? Yesterday was in Abuja. Yesterday, Monday, the governor was in Abuja, in a governor's meeting. And you can see the report was saying he sent security to go and do what? What are you doing as a governor? So I think as time goes on, I will have to be asked, because I don't know. Yesterday was Monday. It was in Abuja yesterday. And this thing happened on Sunday till this Monday morning. And the same governor was in Abuja here, and they are running up and down, looking for how they can become a senator, look at what is happening here. When I saw the video, I couldn't, because I'm not surprised. The reason I'm not surprised is that we have been discussing over this. It has been talk. Tomorrow, you see, I assure you, I will send somebody. Is it by sending what intelligence have you been gathering for 7 years? Because I could remember Jos and Benue have been this issue have been almost on a daily basis, on a quarterly basis. Just watch between now and maybe in the next 2 months, you see one thing attack happening in Benue. So it has been Benue and Jos and all that, and Taraba, and the governors of those states. What are they doing? Because you can't continue, because most of them are running up and down now. How they can become a senator after being the governor. Some of them were maybe a member of House of Rep before. So to me, what are those governors? Until we start calling those people too that are in charge of those states, that what is your own responsibility? Because I'll be surprised that attack happened on Sunday and the governor was there yesterday, and you are telling us on the newspaper that you have security to do what? As a governor, what are you telling your people? What intelligence are you gathering that this thing will not happen again? Look at the last one that happened some month ago. The same judge or number of or no numbers were people that these people kill, and I'm sure the same people to come to do the same thing. And what are so are we not going to be by next week or by next month now? Same thing will happen, and we are still going to be just be talking and nothing.
Okay, seeing the security situation in this state, yesterday after this report actually broke in the media and the news, I actually went through some of the comments. I go through some of the social media comments and some commentaries made by security experts and all of that. So I saw, some of the comments, a lot calling out to the governor of Plateau State, talking about Lalong, understanding and knowing that he was even in Abuja yesterday, truthfully, when this report was actually flying, that scores of people have been killed in a state. And we know that a lot of Nigerians have been saying it's time we start holding our politically elected leaders accountable for some of their actions. Some have actually said, how will you be grappling with this challenge in your state, and you're in another state, listening to the campaigning of another individual who wants to be a president? Some said it was insensitive. Some said it was necessary that he actually come down to Abuja for that particular meeting with Siwaju as well. Now, looking at this, is this a case of misplaced priorities for these elected leaders of Nigeria?
First observation is, even the newspaper reporting this could still not stay away from the word bandit. They maintain bandit, and the more we still see it as bandit, the more people still have a perception about it like it's not a real problem that threatens lives and property in Nigeria. They are terrorists. I think we should stick more to that, and for the newspaper as well. And in a way, if you look at it, there are certain traits that only exist with governors of the APC, and it starts not just with the governors, but with the presidency as well. The presidency, in a way, has shown itself to be more proactive when there is an issue that threatens the political space of APC, which is the political party itself. They've showed more proactive measures and interest in resolving crises that threatens the political existence of APC than they pay attention to situations like these that threatens the nation at large. We've seen that played its hand over time. It's that level of insensitivity that would make a video about the Boko Haram, the terrorists who abducted the Kaduna Rail people, to show up some days ago, and just yesterday the vice president on the same administration thought it wise to step out and declare to run for office when a number of Nigerians are encouraged. It's a level of insensitivity. There are certain things that even if you have it planned, if you have it scheduled, the mood of the nation is enough for you to make adjustments. If Osinbajo did not declare yesterday, it will stop his ambition. It won't affect him in any way. And it would at least show a sign from the government at the center that these people really care about their activities affecting citizens. For me, for those who might even have relatives or members of family among those who were abducted yesterday, rather than us talking about how to save these people and resolve the challenges once and for all before terrorists start killing them one after the other, instead the focus of the entire nation was on his declaration, and it shows how unserious we are as a nation from top to the least person.
Okay, so Yemi, before you go for the further there, you made a statement that instead of if the vice president did not declare yesterday, it wouldn't have stopped his ambition. He could have declared. But looking at how the situation has played out, Yemi, tell me which of the day you've opened any of the dailies you've not seen a report of bandit attack or terrorist attack, as you call it. We've clearly identified that.
We've seen terrorist attacks.
So when will now be the best time?
We've seen. See, it is still the kind of incompetence shown by the administration. If you have things in place, you should have been able to create a security structure that would have taken care of all of these challenges. If you remember very well, we are talking about a situation that metamorphosed over the years since 2015. And in fact, way beyond 2015. And as at that 2015 we're talking about, it was a challenge that was restricted to the northeastern part of the country. And at a point, states that were handled by these terrorists, taken over by these terrorists as at that time, some of them were gotten back even before May 29 that Jonathan handed over power to this administration. Since then, a lot has changed. We refrained from referring to them as terrorists. We spoke less about their activity. It was reported in a way that, based on the analogy that was given to the media then, and at the same time, they grew, spread across Nigeria to the point where we found a name for them as bandits. And to an extent, they started making demands. There were situations where you say you know who their sponsors are. This government mentioned that over and over again. And if you are not going after their sponsors, you wouldn't have a situation where they are now demanding that release our sponsors, release our top generals, and who release those who have been abducted. If the government has been in the trade of reintegrating repentant terrorists into the society, what is stopping them from taking the necessary action to nipping this in the bud? We can't say let the people who are in captive be there. We would never say that. Nigerians will prioritize bringing those people back, and not just bringing them back safely. And once they are back, we expect the government to move swiftly and get this done. For the governor of Plateau State, I'll say it without missing word, it's not different from those sitting at the center of power. It's not different from Osinbajo, who was insensitive enough to declare his ambition yesterday. So when you look at him, the situation in Jos, yes, he's the governor, even if he was there to visit the community where it happened, he still appears as powerless as he has been over the years, because all he gets or he has control over is just his security vote. The major challenge of terrorism is on the table of the federal government and its security chiefs, and if they don't act, we will still continue to have such reports.
Okay, like what Yemi said, well, I think, as I said, me and Yemi discussed yesterday, we shouldn't attack person. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo declared yesterday morning. As at the time he declared, there was no report. This report came in later yesterday. This report of Jos. As at yesterday, by 7 o'clock in the morning, that the news broke out of declaration of. So there was nothing of such. So there was no, and I'm sure Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is too passionate. Last week he was in Kaduna.
The video of the people in captive came out prior to that declaration.
When you say
it came out before that declaration.
When you say no, I was talking about Jos. Now the people that came out before, he actually visited Kaduna a day, that is the following day of this attack. That was on Tuesday last week. He visited Kaduna to check on them. That is one. Two, if you look at the whole thing, even if he failed to declare yesterday, by next week there's an attack, he will not declare. So INEC will wait for him. And you have to know, these are political party issues. What I'm just trying to say is that whichever means you want to look at it, are you getting me? I was happy that you said even the insecurity was way beyond this administration. That means it has been there before now. But the issue is this: the federal government should do more about the expectation. But when you are saying the governor of the state, you see, today, one of the biggest challenges you have today is that most governors, I think it's only one or two governors that can, if you ask me today, they always, almost every day they are in their state, except they have a meeting in Abuja. And these are governors that people don't even see them like, but to me, those are governors that almost every time they are at home. Someone like Lalon was in Port Harcourt on Saturday when the Minister of Transportation was declared. He was the only governor that was in that declaration. On Sunday was in Abuja. So how many, ask if you put this on, I'm sure people are going to call in. Majority of Plateau people, how many times have their governor been staying at home? So the idea is this: a governor, you are saying in Abuja, you are saying maybe in case, even if you went to visit them. No, we are not saying you go and visit them after the attack. What intelligence have they gathered for 7 years? Okay. That today, that job, because what we are discussing is that killing, and whether you like it or not, what are the governor or the government of Plateau State doing so that this, because to me, these are 78 they are telling you now. They say there are many in the bush that they cannot even ascertain their well-being. But the issue is this: as a governor, they should sit back in their state. So leave the federal government with their problem. You go back to your own state and see what you can do.
And you're also saying leave the declarers with their problem. Let them declare independently and address the issues in your state.
That's what definitely.
What is making me laugh about what Osage is saying is that he looked for a very way to exonerate the vice president who declared a day after the video of the abducted. If you look at it, sincerely, it's an APC thing. Rotimi Amechi, who is even the Minister of Transportation, on whose ministry's path the terrorists attacked and took people, declared on Saturday, while the vice president as well did same, and in between all of this, Nigerians have been abducted and killed. And when you look at the way people think and talk about politics now, I wonder if the same mindset or approach was taken for someone like Goodluck Jonathan in 2015. Maybe there might have been a reason for him to make sure that the terrorist activity does not extend beyond Northeast, and maybe he would have finished it off. It's a situation of maybe and maybes and potentials of what could have been. Professor Yemi Osinbajo is part of this government. When you talk about the federal government controls the entire security architecture of the country. If you talk about the federal government needing to do more, the person you are trying to exonerate is part of that government. And that was why yesterday I was really proud that he decided to wear the toga of whatever achievement he believed the government, the current government has achieved, which means he has thrown it open for us to continuously deliberate and judge him on the basis of whatever has been achieved by this administration, which he hopes to continue. But if what we have seen within the past 7 years is what he's looking to continue doing, then Nigerians and even members of his political party should be wary of his emergence.
Okay, quickly, let's move straight to the southeast, where IPOB insists April 27 ban on open grazing beef sacrosanct, and this is on the Guardian newspaper. Says Igbo alone spend 3 billion naira yearly on cows. And part of the headlines, it says Kanu takes Buhari, Malami, Kenyatta to the UNSC. And now looking at this, the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB has reaffirmed April 27 as date set aside for the enforcement of a ban on open grazing and beef consumption in the southeast. Also, the group, in a statement by its media and publicity secretary Imar Powerful yesterday, disclosed that enforcement of the ban on open grazing in a zone which had since been pronounced by southeast governors and passed into law by many states in Biafra land, according to them, will take effect simultaneously. It therefore advised anybody dealing on cow business in the southeast to have a ranch, warning that any cow seen after the deadline will be treated as contraband. Now, looking at this, the IPOB are taking laws into their hands, saying they want to, carry out the order of the governor. Remember, several states in the southeast have actually placed a ban on open grazing, and IPOB, through its spokesperson Imar Powerful, is saying they want to implement that, and this ban takes effect from the 27th of this month, and that is in about 15 days from today, barely about 2 weeks from today. This ban will take place. So every person involved in open grazing, once you've seen your wares will be seen as contraband, they will tackle that. And also, on the issue of beef, I remember they actually placed a ban on all beef or cow brought in from the northern region. And I remember when the statement officially broke a couple of months ago, IPOB actually made a statement that a local cow should now be the rear. People from this extract should now rear Igbo cows. And a lot, remember, then we raised questions that what do they mean by Igbo cows? Are cows now of a particular region? Is there Hausa cow? Is there Igbo cow or Yoruba cows? But apparently I asked the question, and some people who are from the eastern extract told me that indeed there is a kind of cow that is from the eastern extract. It is not as huge as the one from the west or from the north. It is shorter than the one we see coming from the north. And then I saw it, I was like, oh, I never knew there was Igbo cows now. These are the ultimatum IPOB has given to all those whose business or who ply their trade in beef and rearing of cows. So all animals, if you want to rear cows, do that in a ranch. It must be Igbo cows, and ensure that they do not see your cows roaming. Looking at all the ultimatums being put by IPOB, this begs to ask the question. Remember, the Southeasterners have been seeking for a Southeastern president. Yesterday, we clearly stated that Igbo presidency is different from Southeastern presidency. They've been clamoring for a president from the South. And now, if they are restricting or limiting certain things coming from other regions into their own region, and now does their clamor for a Southeastern president, which is national, is this valid?
Is not valid. And if you look at it very well, sometimes, just as we're all laughing here when you are reading this, for instance, now we have been discussing this before now, and it's funny when you are agitating for Igbo president and you are telling me that from other regions. But that what Imar Powerful is saying, I read it and I know that is just a kind of charity. It is not something that is possible. All I can say about that is that the effort that the Igbo leaders are making to see how, because they are losing, according to what I watched last week, when the governor of the new governor of Anambra State was addressing them, some of their this, he tells them categorically that the Hausa man that he said he should not come from the north to trade in Onitsha or in Oka or in Aba, or the Yoruba man that you don't want them to come. We are the one that we are losing money. So if you are telling them today that if I have, because with that law, without what he's saying now, with that ranching now, that means they can just even invade my ranch one day. They can be angry and say, why you still living a Hausa or a Yoruba cow here, and we want our cow, and but I don't have the Igbo cow. They can even just invade my ranch one day and they will pack my cow and said they want to take the cow away. So to me, I think I said it on a platform yesterday, on the sister platform yesterday, where I said, whether we like it or not, it's not business as usual. Some people are making money out of all these, what they are doing. And some people are losing huge amount of money on their businesses. Because with all this now, this will create panic this will create tension in that area. And for people that are into that business, they are already contemplating how they can leave the region. So they are going to be paying taxes and all that. So to me, I think whoever that is issuing the statement or whoever that is behind all this should stop all this and see how we can develop the country. Because today, the Igbos, as we said, they have credible candidates, or should I put it that way, that can become a president of this country. So they shouldn't attach this kind of sentiment, and now they are selling this sentiment to other regions. Because whether you like it or not, politics is local, it's a regional issue. So if you need the support of my region now, and you are putting this before me, and I discover that I was even thinking of how I can support you for your agenda, then people might be having a second thought of how to withdraw this. So to me, they are losing a lot of things in businesses. We all know today that Igbos are the architects of business in Nigeria. So those people that are into those businesses today, you are pushing them out. And those people that have took loan now from bank, that they are into this business, and you are telling me to go and ranch. Okay, if I ranch to go, before you know, unknown government will come and pack my cow, and I will not lose money. And who will pay me back the money? So to me, I think the government of that region, as a matter of urgency, because 27 is, I think, is next week or
2 weeks from now.
Or 2 weeks from now. So it's not something that we should just treat with with levity. Maybe just seeing it as maybe it's just a statement. It's beyond statement, because there are some people today that when they were asking them the reason why they are sitting at home on Monday, they were afraid. Even when the governor was like, even when the governor organized prayer that week Monday, he organized prayer across the state that they should come out. They say no, they cannot come out, because the fear is that if they come out, they can. And you can see the people that the governor arrested on Saturday, those people that they displayed that they arrested, those people are actually taking it as business. Because even when the IPOB have issued a statement that said they have for now, I think they have ceased fire, that people can go on their business on Monday. Those guys are still trying to exploit people by making it people to be before they now got arrested on Friday and Saturday. So to me, this statement, they shouldn't just treat it like just a statement. Rather, whoever that issued this statement should come back again and counter that statement. Or somebody should counter that, so that there will be peace. Because Wednesday, just in 2 weeks, by tomorrow, Wednesday will be 2 weeks time. Yeah. And that 2 weeks time, before you know, is here. And before you know, somebody will now have because maybe have ordered cow from Maiduguri that is on its way coming to Onitsha now. And before you know, in the process of offloading the cow, you now want to confiscate my cow also. So I think whoever the governor or the government of that region should look at what they can do.
Okay, anyway, that is it on that particular headline. It's 8:59, just a minute before 9 o'clock. We will officially open the phone line so we can get your reactions on some of the headlines we've shared this morning. The number to call is 08130111724, 08130111724. That is the number to call. Remember, you can also send us a text message or WhatsApp to the number 07033728313. The text and WhatsApp number is 07033728313. But the number to call is 08130111724. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Simeon.
Yes, good morning, Eric.
Thank you, and good morning to you, guests in the studio. My name is Eric. I'm calling from Guarimpa here. Simeon, thank you people for bringing the headline about the killing in Plateau State. That is where I came from. Our governor, he did not show that, okay, the plight of the people who are being killed, that he's along with them. This killing actually started over the weekend. And over the weekend, he was in Port Harcourt. So it is expected that someone would have gotten a report or a security report that there is problem at home, for him to have reported at home immediately. He did not go home. From Port Harcourt, he came to Abuja here. Then he was busy attending his political meeting with Ashwaji. When we are waiting, Ashwaji has been visiting state to donate 50 million naira for them. We wait to see whether he will go and visit Plateau State to give us 50 million naira to those who lost the victims. By the way, money will not even bring the people that have lost their lives. What many of us have been saying is that prevent this thing from happening. Don't let it happen before you go and donate money or you go for condolence visits. Let me tell you a background of this thing. Last year, the chairman of my local government, that is Lantan North share a boundary with Wase local government, where the deputy speaker is coming from. The deputy speaker of House of Representatives is coming from Wase local government. So Lantan share a boundary with them. Last year, the chairman of our local government, now he's no more a chairman. He raised an alarm that there is a bush around that Wase, that they are harboring terrorists in that place, that terrorists are camping there. So the APC, the chairman of Wase is an APC person, and even the governor of Plateau State is an APC person. The person who raised an alarm is an PDP chairman. So they kick against his alarm. Then they said he's trying to plant insecurity in between Wase and Lanta. That's what they said. Long before that, the terrorists spike and then they attack the Wase local government. Now this Kanam that these people recently attacked, Kanam again share boundary with Wase local government. So you can see if at all these people acted on the intel, the chairman of Lantano raised, this thing wouldn't have happened. That is how it has gone across this country. When something is being said, they will just politicize it. Even instead of them to deep down to investigate, they will not do it. And that's the situation we have in this country. Yet they will be telling us that if you see something, say something. Have they been acting on what people have been saying? This is a sitting chairman of a local government. He said this is everybody ignore him. May God help us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric, for your comments. He said he's from Jos, so he even knows these communities where the attacks have actually happened. Good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Okay, kindly call back 081-30-111-724. 081-30-111-724. You can also drop a message on all our platforms or via text or WhatsApp. The WhatsApp and text number is 070-3372-8313. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, this is Chinedu calling from Gwarimba.
Okay, Chinedu, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. For the headline, issue of this security officer, governor is not even only governor of Plateau State, which is just, but is all governor in the whole federation. They are telling us. Sometimes they say federal government. We know federal government is not doing much enough or doing enough. What is these governors on their own doing to contribute in the issue of this security? If we go to every state, most of the money the budget is for security. Security vote is not accountable for. But most of those governors, they do nothing about this security issue. For example, in my area, I'm in Kogi State. You understand me? Before I come to Abuja, the governor there, sometimes they say there is no work. He empowered some youth as his vigilante security. That is what contains most of the security in Kogi. When he empowered them, it's not this gun he gives them, this Kakabula, this cartridge. He gives them a good gun. And the most of the location that these people are, those indigenous boys know the area very well. They know who come in, who go out, even if he is in the city. And they can be able to tackle a bit. Even if that man is not doing anything. But before God, go to Kogi State, you see that the security is more bit tighter than any other place. There is a time that kidnapper is rampant that you cannot even move an inch in Kogi. But he do that. They start that. So now, those governors, most of them are after is going to Abuja, going to Port Harcourt and this. And they will get information that, yes, bandits are coming, bandits is doing this. You don't do anything, but at the end of it, you go there place, you give them 30,000, you give them 50,000, some people give 50 million. Is it more than life? So I'm sure I'm not happy. Most of those governors are not doing well. This is a time where planning 2020. Let us not to do a settlement. Let us bring somebody that at least, even if we do not fight this thing 100%, at least even if 40% or 50% is fighting. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Chinedu, for that one. It goes beyond collecting money. It goes, it's more of action. That's what Chinedu is saying. So we should vote someone who will actually carry out some of the promises he will actually tell Nigerians. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Osinbajo. I want to react on the issue of killing in Plateau State. You see, sometimes we are blaming our governors. Let me just tell you, the governors are just there. They have no any power ahead of the security. The governors are there just for them. It's just like something that they plan. Can you control any security agency in your state? Can you command the army to fight the terrorists and they will go? Can you tell the police, DPO and inspector to go after the kidnapper in your state? They will go. They will tell you, they are waiting for orders from above. That is why we are telling the government that they should restructure Nigeria. So that every governor will have power against ahead of his own insecurity. You will say the governor is collecting money. The money they are collecting, it does that because they know they have no power ahead of any security. They will collect it and do whatever they want to do with it. And I just want to speak on the issue of IPOB. You see, please, I'm begging the governors of the Southeast, they should try and dialogue with IPOB. Because you cannot fight ideology with guns and bullets. You understand? The only way to win this fight, you call these people together and you sit down with them and you dialogue. But when you start killing them, shooting them guns, I don't think you can. I don't think it is the way forward to go. Please, they should dialogue with these guys so that there will be peace in the country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, okay, for that one. Okay, remember you can drop a message on WhatsApp or via text 070-3372-8313, or you can call 0813-0111-724. Good morning to you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning. My name is Simon. I'm calling from Guadalajara.
Okay, welcome, Simon.
Thank you. Please, I want to contribute. I want to say what Osinbajo has done to Yemi. Osinbajo has declared himself as he wants to run for the president of Nigeria. It's primary, and he's allowed to run. Everybody is allowed. Osinbajo also have this thing to run this thing as a president of Nigeria. Let them go to primary. If Tinubu beat him, fine. If beat Tinubu, fine. We are all APC. We are supporting APC. But the way this thing Yemi is talking every day, the thing is making me angry.
I think you need to pacify our caller. Your opinions and your submissions always on Bright Republic, according to him, pisses him off. It makes him angry. So, Yemi, I think you need to start apologizing to our callers for your submissions.
From what he said we are all APC, meaning he's an APC man. And in a way, I don't expect him to be happy. The same way Nigerians are not happy.
Yemi has been critical.
I don't expect him to be happy. The same way Nigerians are not happy for the bad governance that APC had delivered over the 7 years. We are not happy as citizens. And I don't expect the party that has delivered such leadership to be happy when we tell them the truth.
Okay, this is more of a case of if you say your father will not sleep, you too will not sleep. Is that what you're now doing?
No. Don't get it right.
No, I'm asking Yemi.
What he's saying, what Yemi was saying is simple. Yemi are the people that created this problem. The party supporting today are the people that created this problem in this country. Those his candidates today are the candidates that was in APC in 2015 that were calling this same PDP that he's telling me is an alternative today, that the evil people. You can imagine a governor that somebody that was a governor in PDP for 7 years. He was a speaker of PDP for 8 years, and he came to climb that podium in 2015 January. That is the Minister of Transport, calling PDP an evil party. Bukola Saraki was a governor, 8 years governor in PDP. He was a 2-term senator. In 2015 in January, he was calling that same PDP evil party. That Nigeria should do away with that evil party. They brought this same Muhammadu Buhari in today, some of them could not stay that heat in APC. Less than 2 years, they frustrate them out of the party, and they now come and regroup in PDP again and be telling us the same story. I think Nigeria would not take that.
The interesting thing is when Osaki speaks, he gives me the reason to rate how I react and respond. And now that he has brought this forward, let me speak up. I hope you give me my time as well, like you did to him. The people who defected from the People's Democratic Party defected on the basis of zoning arrangement, which they believe power should come to northern part of Nigeria, and they left. When they left to join the APC, they expected that there would be a leadership that would make the promises they've made to Nigeria in terms of forex, in terms of reduction of fuel pump price, in terms of employment, in terms of security, make it happen. The new alignment would make that happen. Getting there, they saw something different. They saw an inept leadership from someone who could not even assemble a cabinet within 6 months. They saw another aspect of that political party that now embraces and reformed terrorists and reintegrate them back into the society instead of fighting them. They saw a government that was going to make 9,000 naira worth of bag of rice become something Nigerians will eventually buy at 35,000 per bag. They saw a government that is on the verge of borrowing in the sense that you are not building infrastructures, you are borrowing, and we have a very huge debt that we don't even know if the country would be able to pay in nearest future. We are talking about a situation that was, let us end terrorism, let us clear them off from northeast, but instead we saw a government that embraced banditry, that embraced marauding X-Men, and that are the board of fighting the means of diversification that was adopted by the likes of Akinomi, Adeshina. When you look at the government they seem to criticize, the fastest growing economy in Africa was what we handed over to APC. One of the fastest growing economy in the world was what we handed over to APC. Nigeria happened to be the country of the happiest people on earth at the time we're handing over the government to APC. But today, you are talking about us being the poverty capital of the world, where 5,000 is seen as a poverty alleviation program. We are in a situation where yes, Mr. President, in one of his interviews, was asked what his observation about the PDP would be. He said failure. But realistically, they've taken us from what they reference as failure to hopelessness. A situation where an average Nigerian now sleeps, wakes up, and you're not sure whether you'll be safe for the whole day.
Yeah, you've had your time. Okay.
I just want to.
Okay, just 1 minute, and then we open.
Thank you.
Just 1 minute, and then we open the phone line immediately.
Yemi is a very powerful analyst, I no doubt. But you can see how he tactically just did. What we are saying is this: the same people. You know, when you are saying you handed over as if you're those that are in PDP today, that are frustrating that same political party today.
APC as a political party.
You are saying it as
happen to be the only party that said if you have baggages, come.
No, those people
and your baggages will be taken off you. But the chairman of the All Progressive Congress is with a baggage of 15 billion fraud case that has been raised by EFCC.
It was part of the people. Yes, it was part of the people that frustrated this.
Yet he is the National Working Committee chairman leading the campaign of your party.
No, it doesn't matter.
You can't take that out. Somebody will solve baggage. I made you understand it some days back that the entire leadership of APC, the new NWC that came through consensus of President Muhammadu Buhari are people who were criminally punched out of PDP.
No, they didn't punch them out.
And when you look at it, look at the chairman, look at the person of Iyola Obesere, who are even Professor Osinbajo recently spewed out everything about APC on the basis of nomination of Iyolo Omishore as the secretary of the party. That is somebody that the People's Democratic Party would not even touch with a long spoon. That is what we are saying. We are talking about a party that has harbored people with corruption cases.
Gentlemen,
until date, all of our institutions have been handicapped.
Gentlemen, I'll be forced to turn off your mic. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you. Yes, yes.
This is Shimel calling back. Because of issue of this very, very matter, you have to speak. I just want to make just 30 seconds contribution, please. I respect Yemi very much as an analyst. But there's some issue. There's a question that this man asked him. Those people that say that even if he defends because of maybe your zone is not in favored or so, you don't need to bite a finger that fed you. You don't need to call a party that brought you up names. That party, that names you call that party and you are going back there. No, it's not acceptable. For example, I want to give an example. Governor of Ebonyi State declared decamped from APC to PDP. But if you watch the polling, they haven't one day called. He said, yes, I did this because of my own case. It's not because of PDP is not good, but because of my own plan, because of my future. He never called PDP. PDP is this or that. That's the example. So those people that clamp it, those people that say PDP is evil, those people that say that PDP is nothing good about, what are they finding for PDP? We need a new variety. We cannot accept those people back again. They are not. They can't give us any good thing. Here they say PDP is good. Thank you very much.
Okay, Chinedu, thank you for that particular one.
Is interesting, and I would like to respond to
just in 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds,
yes.
When you try as much as possible to test something different with the hope of making it better, and you get involved and you see that it is bloodthirsty people who will threaten at the point of election that dogs and baboons will be soaked in blood, you have no point than to withdraw back and go back to what you think used to be bad. But the thing about democracy is when you leave and you come back to a political party, we assess you, we check if you are the type with a clean record. All of those people that have returned, they are the people who are willing to go against the wrath of this government that says it's on an anti-corruption crusade.
Okay.
If there is an allegation against them, if there is an allegation against them in terms of corruption, they've all opened themselves up to this government to try, and to date, there is no outcome from it.
And now, Osage, your 30 seconds before we get back to the phone line.
In their party, the Bukola Saraki today, if you claimed, as he claimed, that after destroying that same PDP because they don't want Jonathan for second term, and that they now saw that okay, APC was a blood-testing political party, his own word, he lost as a senator. All the candidates he brought forward for election
in the whole of all 7 years of APC,
it has never happened.
They cannot boast of an election. They cannot boast of an election that they have conducted that is free and fair.
Let Osage. They
cannot boast of an election that is free and fair.
I can tell you,
there is nothing is going to tell us here. We created a platform that brought an opposition into power. PDP created a platform that even gave birth to the rise of the Action Congress of Nigeria in southwest Nigeria. The likes of Oshiomhole, the likes of Aregbesola, it is on the basis of the free will of PDP giving judiciary a free hand that brought them back into government. We are here and we have a government that has manipulated everything.
Yemi, I'll be forced to turn off your mic. So Osage, you have your time. You have the floor. You have 20 seconds. So let's go.
Even I'll spend less than 20 seconds. What I'm saying is it's simple. This is not an argument we should go front and back. I'm just giving you, I will name 5 members out of the people that frustrate the same PDP, that make the PDP to lose. Because when you are giving the kudos to APC in 2015, it's not the people that are in Lagos or anybody, it's just governors that left with the PDP money. I'm coming. Wait, if it's Nigeria,
you have 5 seconds.
I just give you example. I just gave you example of Kwara State, where Bukola Saraki comes from, and that's the Bukola Saraki. He lost. I'm coming. In 2019, he knew. Bukola Saraki knew in 2015,
he knew in 2015 that he will have not won anything. That was why he joined APC.
Okay, now, gentlemen, your time are up. Gentlemen, your time is up now. Your time is up. Okay, so gentlemen, I'll be forced to turn off your mics now. 081 30 111 724. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Good morning. Let's take this call. Good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Celestine.
Celestine from Niger State. Go ahead, make your points.
This man that is speaking on behalf of CDP have always speak all what I will have said, because this thing is clear. 2011, 2015. We heard what APC is talking about BDP. We thought maybe the savior has come. Okay. There's something I'm asking. I always ask radio houses. Muhammad Buhari contested president in 2003 with Obasanjo. He contested with Yaradua in 2007. He contested with Jonathan in 2011. Is it this kind of government that he's dreaming, contesting, failing and recontesting? That looking for every new... See, in this Nigeria where we are now, if I will open my mouth to tell you what we are saying about bandits or these terrorists, you will marvel. The only thing is that our own information, maybe if I tell you now, you may not take it because I'm not the Minister of Information. But the truth is that what I'm seeing here is not even close to say that the government is trying to save people. They are not doing anything. Do you know bandits will come here like on Monday? They will not leave until next Saturday. And you will not see any police or any scout that is telling them go. When I say this now, you may look at it as if I'm lying. I'm not lying. I'm telling you exactly what I'm seeing. But when I begin to hear news, they say government is trying, government is doing this. Brother, we need to change this government. This government is fair.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Quickly, let me go through some of the messages we already have. And this one is saying, good morning, sir. Sir, we do not understand the word repentant Boko Haram. Okay, I guess we're talking about the headline that has to do with terrorists. And now to this one. This one says, good morning. I am Virtue from Aso Drive. Very lengthy one, but I'll just try to see what I can do about this. I watched and listened to Yemi. Okay, I watched and listened to Yemi Osinbajo's political rhetoric yesterday with rage filling my soul. I consider what took place yesterday, even the guise of declaration, as a farce, a joke, an aberration, and of course a mockery to the souls of fellow Nigerians. This regime has directly and indirectly sent to their alligators with impunity. Osinbajo's so-called declaration shows how insensitive he is. So ambition for 2023 is the reason it remained completely silent for almost 8 years, while its principal and their cabals continue to unleash, untold hardship and suffering on us since the ambush power in 2015. The gimmick from him yesterday really shows the true character of the vice president. Osinbajo lacks the moral right to say he would run for president for the office of the president after their obnoxious tenure in 2023. If I may ask, those pushing him into this mission to honestly tell the world the difference between Buhari and Osinbajo without prejudice, sentiments, and being too emotional attached to him. And then he also said under Buhari Osinbajo regime, Naira is completely worthless. Nigeria currently poverty capital of the world, most terrorized nation on planet Earth, just to mention but a few. As I type, thousands of innocent citizens are in the dens of terrorists without hope of rescue, including the Leah Sharibo. Yet the likes of Osinbajo, Rotimi Amechi, Tinubu are busy campaigning for 2023. You see how insensitive those people are. Their only priority is the next election, not how to rescue captives they plunge into captivity. Anyone who is directly and indirectly who have a connection with this regime should not come 1,000 meters close to the seat of power again after the end of this regime in 2023. In fact, the same society, this character should be in jail and the keys thrown into the lagoon immediately they vacate office. Okay, anyway, I do not know who you're referring to, the characters. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. You're welcome.
I'm Alaji Isa calling from Garimpa.
Alaji Isa, you're welcome. Go ahead. You have 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, okay. What I just want to say is that it's a candid advice to you people. When you are inviting discussant, somebody like Yemi is not a good discussant. The rule of discussion states that when one is talking, the other one should listen. Otherwise, it will cease to be discussion. Secondly, I want to talk about how he has been defending the PDP and what the PDP government did. And I want to tell him that, look, he is just being fraudulent about his discussion. Look, when the PDP was forced out of the system, what was the rule of the day? The rule of the day was suicide bombing. Even the higher security areas in Abuja here are being affected by suicide bombing. Now, I want to ask him, when last did he hear about suicide bombing? In those days of the PDP, you cannot go to the mosque freely, you cannot go to the church freely, you cannot go to the market, you cannot go to school. Look, if it were Yemi to be discussing with then patient Goodluck Jonathan, she would tell him, will you keep quiet? Because he doesn't listen. He doesn't wait for people to express themselves and make their points. When you have something to cover, that is usually the technique you adopt when you are discussing. So if you are inviting discussants, please invite people that actually know the rules of discussions, not people like Yemi. Yemi is a die-hard member of the PDP. He will not say anything negative about the PDP, but we know there are so many things that were not proper with the PDP. There was no infrastructure during the PDP. There were no rail lines during the PDP. There was no school. There was no system. There was no... Look, the issue was that the people of Nigeria collectively came out and gave them the vote of no confidence. And that is how we shamelessly flushed them aside. And now the APC came in. When the APC came in, the security problem they had was in the northeast. Now, whether you like it or not, the Boko Haram has been degraded, whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not. And the only thing was that a new dimension to terrorism...
You will need to wrap up now, sir.
Pardon?
You will need to wrap up now, sir.
Okay, what we have now is a new dimension to criminality, which is the banditry. This is something that had not been anticipated.
Okay, thank you.
We are grappling with it, and the most difficult war.
Thank you, Alaji.
Of wars.
Alaji, we need to let you go now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you've made your point. So quickly, this is 28 minutes past 9 o'clock. So I will give room 1 minute to Yemi and also 1 minute to... you asked you a question. You have 1 minute to address that. And also Osage will have 1 minute to make his final statement before he leaves. So Yemi, 1 minute to address the question asked.
Well, he asked the question for more than 2 minutes. Give him 1 minute.
No, he made a point after.
It's hard. I'll say it very clearly. He mentioned suicide bombing and all. That is the coward approach of any terrorist organization to mastermind attack. But what we have today, they've put aside the coward approach. They are facing us head on in the sense that, for instance, the terrorists had the temerity, the effortry to go all the way to attack the Kaduna military, the Defense Academy in Kaduna. That is bare-faced combat that we are now facing. We are facing a situation where the rail that they talk about is now something that they can come in between, as close as Abuja to Kaduna, to combat and take people. You are telling us that is better than the days of coward attacks where terrorists have to give their own life to implode or explode somewhere to affect others. You can't compare these two. How he came to the point of things are better now is, to my greatest surprise, 87 naira per litre was the fuel pump price that was handed over to APC. When you look at it again, you look at the exchange rate when it comes to forex. The PDP has at that time had an exchange rate of $1 to 195 naira, but now we are talking about $1 to 580. You look at the economy; it has nosedived many times than you can ever count in the history of this country. So when you look at it very well, whatever statistics he is believing is at best imaginary.
Okay, and now to Osage, your final words before we say our buys.
Okay, then my final word is this. Based on our discussion today, basically we discussed about the Yemi Osinbajo, and I want to tell you today, so far out of all the candidates that have shown interest to lead this country today, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo stand out. Nobody close to him, match him, and we put that to contest. We put that to further discussion and some other day. But I want to tell you today, for a new Nigeria, I think I will believe Nigeria knows who the cap fits, and the person is Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Thank you very much.
Okay, anyway, on this note, we say thank you for being a part of the show. We've actually spilled by a minute, and OB of Sports is getting set to take you around the world of sports. A special thank you to all our callers. For those who we couldn't take their calls because the conversation got heated this morning, apologies for that. Hopefully tomorrow when we continue the conversation, we will get to take your calls. For those who sent messages that we couldn't take, apologies as well. Thank you for being a part of the show. It has been a great time talking politics and discussing national issues right here on Bright Republic. My name is and will always be Simeon Sunday. Have a beautiful morning.